Hello everybody, I'm Laura from Linguaverse, and in today's lesson we're going to learn about a particular type of sentences that seem to be a bit confusing even at high levels. I often hear upper intermediate students making this mistake here, so have a look at my sentence. When I have some money, I will buy a new computer. Is this sentence about the present, the past, or the future? When I have some money uses present grammar, when I have. But is the meaning present? The meaning is future. One day in the future, when I have some money, then I will buy a new computer. Oh! This sentence is an example of what we call future time clauses. We use future time clauses to talk about future possibility, or in other words, to talk about what we think that will happen in the future. That's why in this lesson we're going to identify the structure of future time clauses, see different types, and practice using them in context. Now watch till the end because I have something else for you, okay? You can't miss it. Now just a little reminder, if you would like to continue learning with us, subscribe to our channel, Linguaverse, and ring the bell for notifications. That way, you will know whenever there's a new lesson ready for you. Coming back to our lesson today, future time clauses have two parts. The first part contains some kind of time reference word together with a situation. This is what we call the time clause. The second part contains the result, what will happen after that. This part of the sentence is what we call the main clause. Let's take the example we used before. When I have some money, I will buy a new computer. When would be the time reference word. I have some money would be the situation. And I will buy a new computer would be the result, what will happen then. Let's see a few more examples now. When I'm ready to go, I will call you. When is the time reference word. I'm ready to go is the situation. I will call you is the result. What will happen once that I am ready? Or, when I get home, I'm going to have a shower. When I get home is the time clause. I'm going to have a shower is the result. Or, when the concert finishes, we will applaud. When the concert finishes is the time clause. And we will applaud is what will happen after the concert is finished. Bravo, bravo! Great! Now I have a question for you. What's the verb tense we use in the time clause? It's present. And what's the verb tense we use in the result? It's future. So remember, in the time clause, in this case introduced by when, we use present. Normally present simple, but we could also find present continuous or present perfect. The most important thing is it must be a present in the time clause. In the result, we use future. Again, it can be different types of future, but it must be a future. Guys, is it okay if we do this? I will call you when I'm ready to go. I'm going to have a shower when I get home. We will applaud when the concert finishes. Yes, it's perfectly fine. We can invert the position of both clauses and the meaning remains the same. Now just notice a little change, the use of commas. When the time clause appears in the second position, we don't use commas in between clauses. However, when the time clause appears in the first position, we use a comma. So it doesn't matter whether the time clause appears in the first position or in the second, but there is something you need to remember. It always uses the present. It's a typical mistake when people say, when I will arrive, I'm going to... When I will? Whack. When must be followed by a present. Don't forget that. So we've seen that when is a typical way to introduce a future time clause, but it's not the only one. We have all the very common time reference words which commonly introduce future time clauses, which are as soon as, once, before and after, until, while, by the time, and if. Now let's practice using them. As soon as. I will travel abroad as soon as I find a good offer. As soon as I find a good offer is the time clause. In the present, I find. I will travel abroad is the result. What will happen then? Or, as soon as this episode is over, I'm going to go to sleep. As soon as this episode is over is the time clause. In the present, is over. I'm going to go to sleep is the result. What will happen then? Okay, only this one. Oh, one more. Once. I will explain it to you in detail once you're here. Once you're here is the time clause in the present, are. I will explain it to you, in the future will be the result. Once you start, you won't be able to stop. Once you start is the time clause in the present, start. You won't be able to stop is the result in the future. I'll have only a few. Oops. Before and after. In which order will you do these actions next time? For me, the first action is I'll brush my teeth, and my second action is I'll go to sleep. So, before I go to sleep, I will brush my teeth. Before I go to sleep is the time clause in the present. Or, after I brush my teeth, I will go to sleep. After I brush my teeth is the time clause in the present. And what about these two actions? In which order will you do them next time? The first action for me is I will do my makeup. And the second, I will go out. So, I'm going to do my makeup before I go out. Before I go out is the time clause using the present. Or, I'm going to go out after I do my makeup. After I do my makeup is the time clause using the present. Until. I will wait to go out until the rain stops. Until the rain stops is the time clause in the present. I will wait to go out is the future result. Or, until you apologize, I won't speak to you. Until you apologize is the time clause in the present. I won't speak to you is the result in the future. Nope. Say sorry. Okay. While. This time reference word is a little bit different because in this case the situation and the result of it will be happening at the same time. But the structure will be completely the same, so don't worry. For example, I will cook something while you clean. While you clean is the time clause, and I will cook something is what I will be doing at the same time. Or, while you work, I'll do some exercise. While you work is the time clause using the present. I will do some exercise is what I will be doing at the same time. By the time. Hurry up! The train will have already left by the time you arrive at the station. By the time you arrive at the station is the time clause using the present. The train will have already left is the result of it. Or, by the time you wake up, it will have already got dark. By the time you wake up is the time clause. It will have already got dark is the result. If. This one is a little bit different from the rest as well, since if is not really a future time clause. It follows the same structure, if plus present for the situation and future for the result, and it is also used to talk about future possibilities. The main difference between if and the words we've seen so far, as soon as, when, until, is that these words refer to a situation that will happen for sure in the future and the result of it. However, if introduces a condition, which means that situation may happen or may not. Let's see these two examples. When I graduate, I'll move in London. If I graduate, I'll move in London. If you say when I graduate, I'll move in London, it means I will graduate for sure. And when that moment happens, then I'll move in London. But if you say, if I graduate, I'll move in London, that means I may graduate or I may not. If I finally graduate, then I'll move in London. But if I don't graduate, then I will not. Let's play a little game now. This game is called The Chain. And it's called The Chain because we're going to practice connecting the result of a sentence with the condition of the next one. Practice with me. If I graduate, I'll move in London. If I move in London, I'll visit the Big Ben. If I visit the Big Ben, I will take many photos. If I take many photos, I'll post them on Instagram. Notice how the result of a sentence becomes the condition of the next one and how the grammar changes from future to present. And now, to reward those people who are still watching this video, I want to share some extra information with you. We've said during the lesson that time clauses use the present and the main clause or the result uses the future, right? Apart from using the future, main clauses can also use two more options. The first option that we can use in the main clause is modal verbs. For example, when you finish your veggies, you can have some cake. Can is a modal verb introducing the result. Or, until you don't feel better, you shouldn't go to work. Shouldn't is a modal verb introducing the result. Or, while I'm waiting for the bus, I may watch this video. May is a modal verb introducing the result. The second option we can use in the main clause is imperatives. For example, as soon as you are ready, let me know. Let me know is an imperative and it introduces a result. Or, when I ring the bell, please open the door. Please open the door is an imperative, introducing the result. Or finally, don't leave the party before it's over. Don't leave the party is an imperative introducing a result. Whether you use a future tense, a modal verb, or an imperative, the sentence will always refer to the future. And in today's lesson, we've practiced using future time clauses. And we've learned that the most important thing to remember is future time clauses are introduced by a time word reference, such as when, as soon as, once, by the time, and they always use the present. Normally present simple, but other options can appear as well, as long as they are present. The main clause uses normally the future, but we can also find modal verbs or imperatives. For further practice on future time clauses, I've prepared a quiz for you. You can find it in the description box where you can apply everything you've learned in this lesson. I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully you feel more familiar with this topic now. If you like my lessons and would like to be updated, subscribe to our channel Linguiverse and turn on the notifications. In the meantime, you might want to continue improving your grammar. Why don't you check out this lesson over here with 10 of the most common mistakes or getting new vocabulary for job interviews. Remember to follow us on Instagram for new lessons, challenges and games. Thanks for watching today and practice this, enjoy it and share it.